I think we need to say, if China imports enough Indians, it's like diamonds. It's like nanotechnology. Indians are like nanotechnology. We have to be willing to use nuclear weapons to keep China from getting these precious Indians. That's step one. Sounds right? Because it is. It's subtarded.
What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I wanted to check in with a video that is taking over X. And it's not just a kind of a takedown of, Elon Musk's rhetoric, for example. Maybe not just, what Elon Musk has said as much as, Elon Musk himself and Vivek Ramaswamy and things like that. It's the best encapsulation of not just the H-1B debate going on right now, but, I'm going to tell my kids that this was the Gettysburg Address, basically. And it was put out by a comedian, Sam Hyde, someone that I've had some interactions with over my life. I flew out to where he lives and let him punch me in the head every day for a week. And it was quite the experience, one I'll never forget. But he put out a video that I highly recommend you watch in its entirety. I'm only going to show a few clips because, he did the work. The video currently has, from what I can tell, it went from 3.5 to 4 million views in, 20 minutes since I refreshed this. Now that's just impressions. Total views, certainly in the many hundreds of thousands. And the clip views in the many millions. And he lays out several really, really important facts about kind of the American, reaction to being replaced. And, Americans are being replaced. And, quite frankly, if we look at some of the hiring practices around, corporations, specific groups of Americans are being replaced. Here's, for example, something allegedly from the Washington Post. Corporate America pledged to hire more people of color, and it actually did. The year after BLM protest, the S&P 100 added more than 300,000 jobs. 94% of them went to people of color. Now, maybe the 94% of people of color were all more qualified than the 6% loser white people. Here's another chart attached to it. It says, change in employment since February 2020. White employment down 904,000. Hispanic up 2 million. Black up 1 million, 750,000. And Asian up 882,000. While all workers up 4 million. So if this chart is correct, literally everybody gained except white Americans. This is a touchy subject because anytime you talk about white Americans, people call you a Nazi or people say, you're some sort of lunatic. But I'm just talking about facts here. I don't have any ill will towards anybody based on their skin color, but this is an issue that appears to be affecting one group of people, really working class, which does include not just white people, but black folks and people of all stripes in America who are in the working class. And what Sam does here in this clip, or in this video, is perfectly encapsulate that. And some of my favorite clips are, well, let's start with this one.
America into India are fuckers.
Actually, let's go to the longer version of that. This is a great take.
The only people who want to fix the American birth rate problem by turning America into India are fuckers. People are not interchangeable economic units. If they're not more than that, then that's just an extension of antinatalism. That's just nihilism. That's just people don't matter. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the universe doesn't care. Shit. The universe cares. That's why we're here. It's understandable why a computer guy, why an engineer would think that or would want to think that, because it would make solving problems so much easier. We have hardwired group preferences, we have genetic memory, we have culture. This is not learned stuff. It's so deeply embedded in us that it carries on for thousands of years. Thinking of people as interchangeable units, while it would be useful in a simulation or in an economic theorem, it strips them of their humanity. And by the way, it's one of the first steps towards any authoritarian dictatorship type system. It's one of the first steps towards Marxism, of people as just labor. It's a very gross, anti-human thing to think, just to appeal to the Redditor in you. That's middle brain shit.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Do you understand that the American people are on
This
the
part
ropes
too.
right now?
Yeah.
Your people are not the world, okay? It's the
talking to
American
Elon here.
people. That's where this shit is popping off. That's where you came to do business. The American people are your problem now, to the extent that you want people to pay attention to your opinion. And by people, I mean actual people, not Patrick Bet-David, not Ian Miles Chong, Scott Adams, not these fucking faggots that'll walk around sucking your ass because you have money and because you made an electric car. But to the extent that you want that, you have to protect the American people. You're all about being pro-natalism and increasing the birth rate. Why is the average dude gonna wanna have kids when he can barely afford to live by himself and eat Domino's? Hey, why isn't China importing Infinity Indians right now?
Good question. Of the 42-minute video that came out, like, I mean, I don't know why anyone would, most people who try to speak out against us are getting ratioed into oblivion. He's saying, quite frankly, yeah, if India is so full of all these better than Americans, why isn't China importing them? Why aren't we literally going to war over it? Why aren't we going over war over the great Indian resource? It's because it's never been about smarter people. It's been about cheap labor.
Such a huge economic advantage. Why isn't China doing it? We need to do a naval blockade of China to make sure they don't get any of these amazing Indians. Every Indian that makes his way into China is a threat because China will use their genius to get one over on us. That's the biggest threat this country's facing, right? I think we need to go nuclear. I think we need to say, if China imports enough Indians, it's like diamonds. It's like nanotechnology. Indians are like nanotechnology. We have to be willing to use nuclear weapons to keep China from getting these precious Indians. That's step one. Sounds retarded, right? Because it is. It's retarded.
Yeah.
It's subtarded.
Heard of it?
Ever hear of a subtard?
Yeah.
By the way, Moist Critical coined that term, subtard. Competing with China in what sense? GDP? Making a number go up? Having software companies that are valued more highly? Competing with China in what sense? And at what cost?
Yeah.
If the cost is making America look like Calcutta, that's not worth it. That's not a price that we're willing to pay.
Big agree. Big agree. This is, why isn't China importing Infinity Indians right now so they can win the tech race? I mean, fair question. Right? What does winning even mean? What does it look like? Does it mean erasing everything that makes America great? Does it mean treating humans like interchangeable economic units? And also shout out to Sam for calling out Elon Musk for being a huge floppy pussbag, and banning people for ratioing him.
The guy who's the free speech guy, and not only that, but the reasoning from first principles guy, the logical fallacy guy, the Reddit guy, good faith argue with everybody, whatever. All that shit. Blanket banning groypers, taking away blue checks, changing the algorithm of the site because 100 people ratioed you.
He did all of those things.
There's fucking 50,000 posts. They're all organic, by the way. This is not some Russian bot farm. It's not some nefarious behind the scenes, let's mess with Elon, we're gonna fuck with him. That's not what it is. It's you tapped into a moist critical, You tapped into a moist
He's doing this as a meme, probably to get Moist and Asmongold to react to him.
critical, and we're back to moist critical, mainline concern for the American people. And you treated it in a way that was glib and dismissive.
Exactly. The fact that he's basically like, well, duh, we have to import Infinity Indians because we have to win. America has to win. Well, it depends what the cost of winning is. I think he puts it extremely well when he's like, not if it makes America look like Calcutta. I don't think anybody wants that. I don't think the Indians who immigrate here want that. They left for a reason.
You just became a Republican 3 months ago, and you're talking about removing a big portion of regular people, root and stem. No. People fucking love you. They will forgive you. Nobody is trying to get you to become turbo, base pilled, full Pat Buchanan immigration policy. People broadly understand that you are a San Francisco, tech, California, international
Correct.
immigrant. Well, if you want to be a regular tech guy, that's fine. You can do that. You can be Larry Ellison. You can go play on the boat. Nobody's going to give a fuck. Realize what you're fighting for. If you're going to be the tech king, if you've courted the MAGA base, you wanted these people on your side.
Correct.
They're ready to be on your side, but you have to fight not for Ben Shapiro's idea of the country of America, the notion of America as this collection of ideas. That's not what it is. It's Americans.
Yes.
That's who you have to fight for. If you're in
Probably the most important line in this 45-minute video. Ben Shapiro's America is just a group of ideas. Nonsense.
America, doing business in America, you want to be the man in America, you have to fight for the American people. You're not fighting for a paragraph. You're not fighting for a set of ideas, man. It's the American people who need your help. That's fundamentally why I think people are pissed off here. And it's an easy
He's
fix.
correct.
Just don't call them retards.
Yeah. I would say that he's on point. When was the last time we were proud of anything America has made? I remember, please remember, what was that? I would 100%. I watched this whole video twice, and then I texted Sam this morning, and I was like, damn, dude, that was a really good video. There's a reason that I commentate and I don't create. It's because I don't have the skill that somebody like Sam has to speak in the way that he does in an eloquent way, or to make the comedy sketches, or to do this kind of stuff. And I understand what I'm good at. I'm good at curating news. I'm good at, figuring out what people are interested in and then providing that to them in bite-sized 10 to 15-minute video sections. But this is, absolutely pointing out, Vishal Garg, the American Indian tech CEO of Better.com, simultaneously fired 900 American workers over a group Zoom call. Indian newspapers gloated that he'd replaced them with 1,000 employees he hired in India. That's not winning. Americans don't think that's winning. Seeing, where's this other chart? Here. Good work to Marissa Hansen. Tesla lays off 2,688 Texas employees immediately following having 2,639 H-1B visas approved. Abbott begged Elon to come to Texas, offering him tax breaks to do so, while keeping our property taxes high, resulting in taxing seniors out of their homes. America First is not just winning. It's when Elon wins, when Patrick Bet-David win. That's not America First. America First is when Americans win. And Americans win when you're not importing cheap labor from foreign countries to replace them. And doing it by the hundreds of thousands, 800,000 roughly, H-1B visas, hundreds of thousands of student visas taken away from, job spots at universities taken away from American students, and the whole slew of other visa loopholes that get these people into the country and take jobs away from Americans. That's what America First means. And Elon Musk only scratched the surface of what, Elon Musk is America First when it makes him money. Let's see if he is when it doesn't. Let's see if Patrick Bet-David, will stop importing graphic designers for $40K a year and hire an American for $70K a year. He's worth $400 million. These guys are not America first when it comes to profit. And that is what separates them from us. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.